I became involved in the AVID program because I had a different pathway into university. I left school at 16. I was given my school certificate, told I was eligible for the dole. At the same time, I was handed my certificate. And I believe that was all I was worth. I went out and got a job straight away and spent 23 years working in retail, publishing, mostly in bookshops. And it was only when I realised that Macquarie University had a particular pathway program called the Jubilee Scheme that I actually applied and I got into university. And once I got there, it blew my mind away to understand how my mind could go places that I never imagined. And so when the lecturer at Macquarie Uni approached me about the AVID program, I thought this is perfect. If something like this had been around when I was at school, I might not have spent 23 years doing other things. And it's also something I wanted my kids to see. I have children, I have 2 teenage sons. One's just begun his HSC year, and I wanted them to see the value of academic hard work and the opportunities that provides in life. Just recently I had an amazing tutorial experience where one of the students came with an inquiry question where they wanted to evaluate the impact of the Myall Creek massacre. And it was really quite incredible because they were looking beyond the simple incidents. They were wanting to understand why it happened and how that affected our history. So the inquiry question was, how do you evaluate the Myall Creek massacre? And towards the end of the tutorial, the questions they were asking and the ideas they were coming up with, they came to the conclusion that it was quite a significant event in our history because it was the first time that white Australians had been held to account for their behaviour against Indigenous and actions against Indigenous Australians, even though Indigenous Australians weren't at that time considered citizens. So they came to an understanding of how important it was that recognition had been made. And it was quite amazing to watch the kids work through this process of just these simple account of events and turn it into something that connected to their world, the injustice of what had happened and their understanding of that injustice. And it was really quite amazing to see that higher order thinking happening with Year 8 students. This experience has been unbelievably helpful and will help make me a much better classroom teacher. It's taught me the value of reflecting on learning to begin with. It's taught me the value of encouraging collegial learning, it's group work. It's taught me the value of strategies to incorporate higher order thinking within the classroom environment and the very, very important relationship amongst learners. The whole experience has been wonderful and there have been many inspirational stories, but one that particularly stands out is an incident where I became superfluous to the group. A group of students took control of their own learning and they were guiding each other and asking questions and working out strategies to help each other, and that was really amazing to see. Of course, there are always those moments where you see students make the connections to the question that they had, but I think it was particularly amazing to see the kids realise that they could do it, that it was within their power, it was in their grasp. It wasn't up to the teacher or me as a tutor to tell them what they needed to do. I think it was that moment where they realised that this is our learning, we're in control.